stage is set with one of the most dramatic backdrops Cup fans could hope for. Barcelona is delivering stellar conditions.
Our strength is like we're a bit unpredictable.
Fantastic to see the French out there now, and they're both obviously performing well.
You can expect from us to close the gap really quickly.
Big problems in the start box for American Magic in race 10.
You know, the reality is that we're pushing these boats to the limit. It's just like any other sailboat, except that you're doing, you know, quadruple the speed, and the force of the water does the quadruple the speed when it hits you in the face.
I said it before, I say again, I think we're the dark horse in this game.
They look confident, they look fast. A first up win for the challenger of record, Ineos Britannia.
Right now you can see Luna Rossa and Team New Zealand are really the top teams, but we're coming at them fast.
Yeah, I've got you. Just come
at the moment, it hasn't been that tight.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli, and the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta will bank win number 3.
I think at this stage, probably everyone's holding a few things back.
Emirates Team New Zealand, they will record their 4th win, and they will have their nose over the line into the final.
We're really happy with how our performance is going at the moment. There's a few other teams that are going really well as well, so it's going to be a tight event for sure.
Bienvenidos and welcome to Barcelona, a cultural treasure trove here in Spain, currently basking in the warmth of a European summer. Today is the final day of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta, and for teams this is a final competitive tune-up to get their AC75s in their sweet spot. Because in 4 days' time, racing gets very real with the start of the Louis Vuitton Cup, the Challenger Selection Series, and by the end of that, one team's dreams will be broken and they're going home. The previous 3 days have shown that if you want to be the challenger for the America's Cup, boat reliability is going to come into play. Execution and efficiency on the water will be critical, because one small mistake will make the difference between staying in Barcelona or asking what might have been. And in true America's Cup tradition, if you don't have a fast boat, you're not going to win the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. It's that simple. Entering the final day of this Cup teaser, Emirates Team New Zealand are in pole position for a spot in the final with Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. American Magic's rudder malfunction might turn out to be a costly moment for that team, while the bottom 3 are constantly looking at improvement. 3 final match races today, opening with a cracker between New Zealand and the USA. How will American Magic bounce back? The slick Luna Rossa face the Swiss, and the French eye up a potential British scalp. The day finishes with the final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. The dockouts are always relaxed affairs, and Elite Red Bull Racing, well, they are the noisiest of the dockouts, closely followed by the Italians in Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli. Fun for the family, one and all. Now, Pete Burling from Emirates Team New Zealand, he's in a good mood, and Blair Tuke just doing his final warm-ups. How will they respond after that rudder malfunction? Heavy faces on American Magic. And think about the French, they've got massive history in this Cup. They want something to happen today, as will the team at Ineos Britannia. It is a go. And what's a good place to watch this from the shore? Well, the official free-to-enter race village, a chance to learn all about what's going on and just sit back and relax. Well, why don't you sit back and relax wherever you are around the world, and we'll check in on conditions with Shirley Robertson.
Stephen, just when we thought we got a handle on the racetrack, finals day has a whole new look. Breeze today is from the east, but unstable. And we're predicted to see about 9 to 15 knots, but really giving the sailors something to think about is the sea state. Big and confused. It's going to make flying an AC75 rather challenging. While looking for areas of maximum wind pressure for sure will make their life easier. And to help you get a grip on the America's Cup racetrack, with the assistance of Capgemini's Windsight IQ technology, we're capturing the intricate patterns of the breeze in a real-time wind map. Green more breeze, blue less. And pass that through the numbers in our own AC75 simulator, and our Ghost Boat should give us an accurate heads up on what could be the winning way.
Here comes race 13, Emirates Team New Zealand and American Magic.
they're not just unbeaten, they're so far been flawless. A real masterclass from the defender. The driving partnership of 2-time Cup winner Pete Burling and Olympic gold medalist Nathan Outridge has looked rock solid. And backing that duo up, experienced trimmers Maloney and Took. Empowering it all in this race, Webster, an Olympic cycling medalist, Van Volhoeven, and on starboard, Allen, and 3 times Olympic rowing gold medalist Hamish Bond.
Well, American Magic, after an unfortunate pre-start breakage in yesterday's race against the French, saw the team retire from the day's racing. They will be looking to have a solid day today with all cylinders firing. A huge contest for them today, lining up with current defenders Emirates Team New Zealand. Tom Slingsby, Paul Goodison, Michael Menninger, Andrew Campbell, Ethan Cedar, Chris Shirley, Colton Hall and Trevor Bird make up the team for today's race.
There are the men steering their boats. Pete Burling and Nathan Outridge left and right at the top of the screen. At bottom left, Tom Slingsby, Paul Goodison at starboard and port helmers of the New York Yacht Club's American Magic as we get ready for the official call to go racing. And race 13.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling period is complete and this race will start on schedule.
So we're looking for a start at race number 13. This will be a good test for both American Magic and also Emirates Team New Zealand. This first race at about 20 odd seconds to go before Emirates Team New Zealand have port entry at 2 minutes and 10, and they come in on port starboard. It'll be USA, and they come in at 2 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit bumpier conditions today, Shirley, than we saw yesterday. So the pre-start, you know, a little bit more boat handling involved.
Well, that's a shock leg. Not easy in these conditions.
Definitely a little bit more work for the foil trimmers and the whole crew in general. So it'd be interesting to see how this all pans out.
Emirates Team New Zealand came out pretty much on time and distance, a little bit late, but here come from the starboard side American Magic, and then we'll see how all the helms test each other in this battle of wills.
Hard to come in from that right-hand side. We see all the spectator boats there, and we just saw the American boat having to come in pretty deep, slightly late. Breeze is quite soft. I guess the massive risk in this pre-start, manoeuvring too much, falling off the foils.
It's quite a bit of pin bias now.
Pin bias, ideally we're sort of jumping. Here we go. So just keep speed on the turns down.
Both boats calling pin bias on the start line. We'll probably see them trying to lead back to win that pin end.
One foot down. They lead. Putting straight up here.
We're just about boat low. Just get through the gas and we can give them a little push down.
It's gas down. Forward up here.
Emirates Team New Zealand perfectly positioned to really push the American boat.
They're not going to get boats, so just
struggling us.
This angle's okay for the build.
I'll be just holding high and slow. Okay. Just keep me honest with speed. At 6 pin, 17 lane.
He's just a little quicker at the moment.
Let me know if you want to give him a little push.
I think we just roll this in and then it's still be quite early for the pin, I think.
Last 30 seconds to the start of race 13.
Okay, we're going to go over the pin and then there'll be a dip start. Got the breeze in now.
When do you want to charge?
Yes.
Happy to start charging here.
American Magic, both boats looking for a dip start here, so dipping back behind the line when the gun actually goes for the start.
Hey, no issue.
Okay, rolling up here. And we're away.
Might call that a delicate start to race 13, but we are a go between American Magic and Emirates Team New Zealand in race 13.
Really, really nice job by both boats there, Shirley, not giving each other an inch there off the start, and Emirates Team New Zealand having to clear their air and put the bow down and actually get the pace up now and sail the boat well.
Emirates Team New Zealand, they're so confident in their speed. They actually didn't really want to get engaged to start making it messy and sailed a beautiful start there, and already we can see slightly faster.
Nice riding on the bow.
Let's go onto the water to chase zero. Pete, give us your thoughts on that start.
Yeah, good start by American Magic. Emirates Team New Zealand just matched them. They did get a little, when they did that last little dip, the New Zealanders were just slightly ahead in terms of the manoeuvre, and that gave them the leverage to come off the line and now tack. Now, the feature on port, as they're on now, is the seaway. They're punching straight into it, and it is a decent seaway, just over a metre.
Out of here for 10. Out of the big left in, unfortunately.
Glenn, the seaway is a lot bigger than we've seen the last few days. How difficult does that make flying the boat with the kind of accuracy that we've been looking at?
Big job for the foil trimmers today. Blair Tuke talking about little lefty, unfortunately. That will actually help American Magic there. And just looking at this fantastic shot bow and bow, I've actually got American Magic with quite a solid lead here coming off the left-hand side. They obviously wanted the left, they've got it, and now they've got a good advantage.
Nice gains here, guys. We've got about, I think we can tie like end up line.
Just how much leverage we want to give him. We can't make one and then so as to just go back early.
Yeah, no, just I think picking our times. We're in a bit of a lefty, so picking our time for a righty and pressure ideally. We've got 40 seconds to sort of make that happen. We like the right, so we're happy this way. Looks like right gate favour at the top, so ideally we're leading him back the other way. It's breezing about 10. I think a pretty good time here to me.
Just push into this one, another 5.
A little bit of left.
Stand by. Down in 3, 2, 1.
Tom Sling's been talking about picking their moments. I mean, they do seem slightly nervous of just throwing the boat around, making quick manoeuvres.
You're definitely wanting to pick a nice flat spot with the water there.
Lead him to the right gate.
Okay, we've got enough. He's just gone above lay, so we'll be able to tack on him here.
Okay, cool.
We've got a good lead here. Nice jump.
Paul Goodison painting a fantastic picture for us there, talking about hitting Emirates Team New Zealand on the way back, so expect attack fairly shortly from American Magic.
Yeah, copy.
Like 5 or 6
ahead. Want to probably give a little bit of fat to the...
Yep. Just you on the lay line.
Yeah, copy. Yeah, pretty even wind direction now. Okay. Over here, stand by. Port down here in 3, 2, 1. Port down. And turning.
Big confident booster, really, for the Americans. Difficult day yesterday. Broke the rudder. Come out swinging today, though.
They have done. They basically decided there just to carry on, not do the double tack. They'll be taking the right-hand turn here, and Emirates Team New Zealand a deficit to make up, Steve.
American Magic with a strong start against the defender of the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. They head through the top gate ahead of the defender, and this is a good bounce back for them. Emirates Team New Zealand. They will take, as they said, the left-hand mark down the downwind leg.
That first shift off the start, surely, such a critical one to get right, and the Americans did it really well, and a really good gain there off the left-hand side of the racetrack.
That was all in the build-up in the pre-start. They led back. They had a game plan to be right at the pin end, to own that left-hand side at the bottom side of the course. And
pretty much on
yeah, well done there.
Just looking at the virtual boundaries on the course there. The yacht's having to stay within inside those virtual borders, if you like. That is the playing field that they must play, and if they go outside that, they do get a penalty. All teams having that information on board.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shifting the axis to 115.
American Magic sailing beautifully at the moment. We're on the first downwind leg, and they're playing a good game right now. So now the question remains, what have Emirates Team New Zealand got in their playbook?
Just a little gust here. Okay, stand by. Put down here in 3, 2, 1, board down.
We've had an inkling that American Magic has a fast boat, but we haven't really had an opportunity to really see it yet. But this must be reassuring.
They're certainly sailing the boat well, and got off the line well, doing the simple things well, and flying the boat really beautifully. So Emirates Team New Zealand have been looking out the back in their rear view mirrors for the last few races, but having a look out the front at another boat, so there'll be a new look for them.
Still more pressure, aren't we?
Just want to win the job, 120, so just probably about their gas into the ley line, Pete, but take it as long.
Almost think I go a bit short just to...
Boys, nice job.
And just get
And headed. Yeah. Happy to go.
Head up there, boys.
Go forward.
Anytime.
Definitely better pressure this corner.
Take it on the inside.
You see how bumpy the water is there as they did that jibe there. Emirates Team New Zealand as well. That lead still around that 190 metre mark, so it hasn't really changed a whole lot on this downwind, Shirley.
Just a bit. It feels like the Kiwi outfit's just slowly closing in. But in this aerial shot, you get a lovely view of just how askew the waves are. You can see them coming in from the left-hand side of the course. And last night there was a big storm, the remnants of the Mistral that they get in the south of France, bringing wind and waves.
Heading to the bottom gate for the first time, and the New York Yacht Club's American Magic in a commanding position. Has there been a slight gain? Maybe a slight gain from Emirates Team New Zealand. They go around the left-hand mark as you see it on the screen, the right hand for them. Final jibe for Emirates Team New Zealand. They will take the opposing mark and continue the chase of American Magic.
It looked like Emirates Team New Zealand lost just a bit, don't you think, Glenn, in that bottom? They went to the other mark, probably not the preferred mark. It just seemed to go on forever trying to get around it.
Yeah, they did, Shirley, and American Magic obviously coming back quite early because they've got a little lead now. They'll be wanting to really put Emirates Team New Zealand in their gas, so we'll have a listen.
Let's go on to the chase boat for American Magic. Tom Burnham is standing by. Coach, this is a nice bounce back, but also a nice performance at this point.
Yeah, so far so good. Everything's working pretty well. The guys are doing a good job, and the shore crew did a great job last night to get us back on the water today. So all in all, a good day so far.
Tom, Glenn here. Bit of a tricky decision of what front sail to put up today. Who makes the call on that?
Yeah, that's Lucas Calabrese. He's one of our backup helmsmen and in charge of the sail program. He's did a great job making a call on the J2 here today. So all looking pretty good, but it is tricky. It's pretty light at the bottom and more breeze at the top of the course. So got to pick a sail for both.
Hey, Coach, how good does it feel to be leading the defender in this race?
Yeah, of course it feels good. Yeah, surely it's really great to be having a good race so far. We'll just got to finish it out and hope it ends up with a good day here.
Thanks for your time, Tom. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
If they come across here again, we probably want to protect the right and lead them.
Yeah, I think so.
Go back right. I got quite a good lead here at the moment, so we're just your board.
Yeah. Hey, Trav.
I think we get to open course before we do it.
Right patch here and then Gus coming on. Can you repeat the plan?
Just get to open course and it'll be your board down, but I'll let you know when.
Yeah, copy.
Always good pressures. Let's hit the fairway.
Okay, I'm happy anytime from here.
Stand by, put down in 3, 2, 1, put down. Turning.
American Magic just doing it by the numbers. It's a calm boat today. If you'd seen yesterday when they had that rudder malfunction, there was a look of disbelievement amongst the crew and also the chase boat. They have done a fine job overnight to get Patriot back up and running. And running she is away from Emirates Team New Zealand.
Actually, he can't. He's marginal. Yes. Let's go to a late line.
It seems like left gain to the bottom and then from the long way left again. Did you take this early, Pete? Yep. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. 3, 2, 1.
Just having a look here, Shirley. Definitely some snakes and ladders, some puffs and lulls out there at the moment. It's tricky conditions for both teams.
Yeah, we have the wind field, but you can hear the sailors just kind of struggling to read it as well, especially as it's so wavy. Good pressure, though, as they get up this course, right at the mark.
Yeah, massive gust coming down there from the right-hand side at the top there, so American Magic will be seeing what's on the bow at the mark. If they can transition that left turn and then you know, get a good slingshot down the boundary, they'll be pretty launched.
Helm and trimmer side by side.
Okay, taking some gauge now.
Absolutely taking a different approach to every other team with their design philosophy there. I suppose they can pat each other on the back or punch each other in the head depending on the situation.
American Magic complete the halfway point of race 13 of the St. Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. They look smooth today.
30 seconds this way.
Down again.
And he's going to follow us.
Pressure's moderate. Nothing special here.
We just keep going until we get past open course.
Yeah.
They're really sailing the boat well, American Magic. Nice high ride height on the foils and very, very confident there. Boat looks good.
Where do you think the best breeze is? My way.
Emirates Team New Zealand follow them around. And they will complete the halfway point of race 13. I wonder in these conditions when we're looking at the particularly American Magic whether they are in their sweet spot.
Well, I think we're hearing a bit of frustration, actually, from the defender. We heard the voice of Nathan Outridge at Port Helmsman kind of saying, help me here. I'm not really sure what's going on. I can't get into phase. For sure, it's a difficult day, and perhaps a day that they've not seen before here in the city.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shifting the course axis to 112.
So let's go on board to chase zero. Peter, what do you make of this?
I'm impressed by American Magic, and it, I guess we've been warming to this through the regatta that this boat does look pretty quick, and they've really shown their card today. They got a beautiful start, dominated start, and they won that vital first cross. But from there, they have just stretched their lead, and they've picked their way upwind and downwind. They've led at every mark, and they're extending.
Grunting up just a click.
Extending they are. That lead is rocked out to some 545 metres against Emirates Team New Zealand. This is a nice little reminder that we have got a game in this America's Cup.
It's a yacht race at the end of the day, and I think American Magic picking every shift on the course in their favour, and possibly Emirates Team New Zealand sailing into a few holes, surely, by the looks of things.
8, 7, 6.
Even to the untrained eye, you can see that American Magic is different to the others. It's smaller in a way, smaller freeboard, kept it really tight and low and near the water. There's cyclers, they face backwards, they're on encumbered bikes just to keep the platform as small as they could.
It's a really good look at what the Seasag's doing here, isn't it? It's like mini surfing going through these. When you see them, it's sort of the boat waft up and down and up and down, and how much the trimmers are having to work.
Yeah, big day for the trimmers today for sure. It's not easy to sail a boat really accurately in these conditions.
Big day on the spectator boats also.
Want to take your seasick tablets possibly?
You'd like to be on those big catamarans that the Lingy Red Bull Racing have their supporters on. That looks a lot more stable. American Magic coming in to complete the fourth leg. 2 more legs to go.
It's 35 seconds this way. Pressure looks okay on the boundary.
Happy to continue this way.
Emirates Team New Zealand coming into the bottom gate with 2 legs to play in a race 13 of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. They're getting a little bit of a lesson today. This is all what it's about. No one can be perfect. That aside to the late jibe and head upwind, opposing American Magic. 50 seconds the delta.
There's definitely some sea state out there and some shifts as we see with the wind field when it comes down. It's tricky sailing conditions, really exciting.
Well, let's get a thought from Ray Davies, the coach of Emirates Team New Zealand. What do you make of this one today, Ray?
Oh, well, it's yeah, all on. We obviously made an error in the pre-start and led back too late, which made an easy jump or a lead for the Americans going back, and you know, they did a good job of seizing that opportunity, and we were thin on their hip off the line, so straight away we're attacked down, and the Americans got that nice little left shift up that first beat, and we've been trying to pick up the crumbs ever since.
Taking a look at American Magic, what do you make from behind? It's a quick boat.
Yeah, we're getting a good look at their sails this race. No, they're going really well. They're joining the dots. They're sailing really well tactically up the beat, and you know, we're having to look for opportunities and having to do extra manoeuvres or potentially even go the wrong way at times to try and get a bit of a split or an opportunity. But no, look, the Americans are sailing really well.
All right, appreciate the time, Ray. Let you get back to it.
Cheers.
Want to step up once we get
on that downwind leg.
Yes, I think.
American Magic made up 15 seconds.
Correct. Yep. That's about 25 away.
Yeah, that's a big gain. It's a huge gain. You can see the sea state there. It's really tricky sailing conditions, and both teams working hard to sail smoothly, that's for sure.
Let's go to Chase Zero, our hydrogen chase boat. Pete, what are you seeing at the moment?
Well, it's all American Magic. Certainly putting on a performance, and this rings a bell in my head when we think back to the America's Cup in Auckland in 2021, and it was American Magic in the Christmas Regatta that took a point of Emirates Team New Zealand, and it's going to be a replay in this one, barring an accident. American Magic are really putting down a good marker.
Softer this way, definitely pressure right. And what matter you go on him here?
Yes, you want?
Yep, stand by. Put down in 2.
Americans talking 2 in and right. Obviously seeing a bit of pressure out the right-hand side of the course there. Got some pretty expert eyeballs on board that boat. Experts at reading the water and reading the breeze, and they won't be missing anything with their shoulders pinned back for sure today.
You know, even to the untrained eye, that sea state, as you said, Shirley, looks confused.
Don't look at it too much, Stephen. You'll be okay.
What are you saying?
You can't get seasick from watching it, mate. You'll be right.
Oh no! Have you seen me on a boat?
I'm enjoying the comms today between Tom Slingsby and Paul Goodison. I think some of the other days have had reliability issues. It's not been quite as smooth between the two of them, but we're hearing a lot of Paul's voice, painting the picture really well, sharing the decision making. There they are. Tom Slingsby on the left, Paul Goodison on the right. Mike Manager trimming on the left, and Andrew Campbell 2 in the gun.
American Magic for the final time at the top mark today.
Okay, slowly coming down.
And this has been a sweet sail for them. And this will give them enormous confidence once they complete the race, having just reminded the defender what they are potentially up against. Remember that they are one of 5 challengers wanting to be the official challenger. But to do that, you've got to win the Louis Vuitton Cup, which starts in 4 days here off the coast of Barcelona.
Yeah, I've got good pressure to the boundary. 25 seconds, we can get solid into open course this way.
He's still not around the windward mark yet, but it looks like he's going to be left turn following. I know he tacks, happy to drive here anytime.
Emirates Team New Zealand. You hear Paul Goodison say they're going to go left turn. Well, no, they decide to go right turn, Emirates Team New Zealand. Picked up some pace. Delta now down to 36. But you heard Ray Davies, the coach, say, mistake at the start.
Yeah, those starts just so critical. Emirates Team New Zealand now just trying to join some dots together themselves on this downwind leg. Just, you know, pressure absolutely king in these boats, and a knot of increase in speed, and you get a few knots of boat speed, so they'll be looking for everything here to try and make up some ground here.
Those starts, Stephen, are actually a mathematical formula. You know, the time to burn, how far away you are from the line, the speed you're going, the angle, and they just got it wrong. And we heard Ray Davies saying that slightly out. They didn't lead back to on that left-hand side early enough.
Slowly down, take it forward a touch as well.
Lots of trimming today, so the cyclists, you know, putting the power through their legs into the cranks, then into the hydraulic pumps that are connected to those cranks, and that hydraulic oil is then distributed around the boat to basically power all the systems above deck, all the sails, the mast rotation, foot outhauls. You see the mast rotation there, cranked around on American Magic, the Traveller moving, huge camber being used in those twin skin mainsails here in these light bumpy conditions, a lot deeper, twistier setups than we see in the flat water conditions in the same breeze.
I mean, the power requirement, when it is, you know, when the wind is up and down and wavy like this, must be off the scale.
Massive day for the guys on the pedals today, and I'm sure if we go on board, you'll be hearing some heavy breathing.
Bit of a speed difference here, but there is big wind, you know, holes, isn't there?
A more sheet on the jib, please. A lot lighter, the breeze here. Big patch here, he's made a big gain. Also one and in left, so it's one and in left for us guys. Yep.
Just straight for the finish here, yeah?
Yep. Yeah, one job.
That's right, Mark. Bottom right is favoured by 10.
Yep.
Emirates Team New Zealand have done a good job to close the gap on this run, to join up the pockets of wind.
American Magic coming down to the finish of race number 13. They will record win number 3, but most importantly, their confidence will go through the roof, and they get the win off the coast of Barcelona. Yeah, little fist bumps everywhere. Don't leave me hanging, Terry.
Just punch through.
They know they've done a good job. They've done a very good job today. And Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender, just reminded those little moments can be costly, and they record their first loss in the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta.
That's a big scalp to claim, the American Magic team, taking down the current defenders of AC37. They'll be pretty happy with that.
Confirmation of race number 13 in the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. And New York Yacht Club's American Magic get the win. And it's a big win too against the defender by 28 seconds. Glorious day here in Barcelona. That's their third win. And just a note too that Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli have the third win as well. They are up next.
Yeah, the start here, a dip start by both teams. You heard the communications there, they're both early, and American Magic in a really commanding position there. The ability to be able to dip start, get behind the line, and then coming up onto the breeze and actually forcing Emirates Team New Zealand there to tack away and clear their air. So great job, American Magic.
Well, American Magic sailed smartly, didn't they? It wasn't an easy racetrack, lots of snakes and ladders, but really just kept it calm, picked their way through. By the last top mark, a really good lead for American Magic. A lot of confidence from this race, Glenn.
And a really nice finish there for the American Magic team, claiming a big scalp of Emirates Team New Zealand.
Let's go on to American Magic. Someone's waving, someone's happy. Let's start with Tom Slingsby. After what happened yesterday, Tom, big scalp, but huge confidence boost for the whole team.
Yeah, no, we know we can do it. When we sail well, we've got a lot of potential in this team, and it was really nice to put it all together today. And yeah, we've had a few setbacks this event, but it's really nice to finish on a high.
I'm going to jump across to Paul Goodison on the other side. Paul, tactically, great start. Congratulations. Good job by the team.
The guys in the back did an awesome job. Great in the bow. The trimmers did a fantastic job, and we managed to get round the course and keep them behind us. So really pleasing for the team as a whole today.
All right, lots of work to do. Thanks for your time, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's go into Emirates Team New Zealand, and I'm assuming it will be Pete Burling standing by. Pete, little reminder of how tough this cup defence is going to be.
Yeah, Steve. Obviously, a real tough one. Felt like we got a great start and then just got the wrong shift by about 10 degrees, and that was pretty much the race. Just couldn't buy a shift.
When you look at a race like that, and you look at your own boat, looking at their boat, what did you make of it? Because everybody's talking about everybody's design concepts. What do you make of it when you have to follow them?
Yeah, well, we've definitely looked at them a lot over the time, but yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that they obviously got a nice start there. I think between the top teams, everyone's pretty even, so it's all about the conditions and who gets off the line well.
Let's jump over the other side. Nate, what did you make of the boat performance and the team performance there?
Yeah, Magic, they sailed really well. They had a good start, and we were pretty keen to get out to the right, but unfortunately they got a nice left shift off the line, so yeah, it was pretty hard to catch up to them after that. They seemed to be nicely in phase, and yeah, we missed a couple, so that's yacht racing.
Okay, buddy, appreciate the time. See you later.
Cheers.
Well, the key moment, like we've seen a lot this week, was in the pre-start. American Magic beautifully controlled that start. They wanted the left-hand side. They took both boats over the line, and then from there, well, they could decide what they wanted to do when they wanted to take the dip and cross the line. Nicely done.
As we have seen all week, the AC-75 is the fastest and hardest craft to sail in the world. For any team to achieve optimum performance, the helmsman must be in total sync. For some, like American Magic's Tom Slingsby and Paul Goodison, it's meant overcoming and parking a lifetime of fierce sporting rivalry.
My co-helm is Paul Goodison, and I've known him for a long time. We were rivals. We were going head-to-head for about 10 years in the laser, and only in the last year or 2 years, have we joined forces.
So my offside for the helming role is Tom Slingsby, a great rival of mine through many years on the Olympic campaign.
Goody and I were pretty fierce rivals there for a long time. I think from about 2005 to 2010, we're actually good friends. We trained together. I stayed at his place in the UK.
We were best buddies. We'd go cycling together, we'd go out to the pub together. And then all of a sudden, as things got closer to each Olympics, obviously you become less, I guess, buddies. You become more enemies because you're desperate to win. So the results at the Olympics between me and Tom were very interesting. The first one, obviously, I came away with a win, and Tom crashed out and had a pretty disappointing Olympics. London, obviously, Tom won, and I had a bit of a disappointment with an injury and didn't achieve what I wanted to do. So, not an easy thing.
I ended up getting the 2012 Olympic gold medal. I think about in 2015 we sort of saw each other again and sort of put it all in the past and became friends again.
Cool as a cucumber on American Magic as they lead the fleet home.
It's an interesting mix. Like, you go from being buddies to being arch rivals and enemies, and then to be back on the same team. We've seen through the racing we've done already that when we get it right, we are very good.
American Magic get the win. Now they've shown us they are here to do the job.
He's definitely the guy I want on the other side of the boat racing with me.
I think we've both worked on our weaknesses and improved there. And now we try to sort of complement each other. I think I might be a little bit more aggressive in my tactics than Goody.
Tom is definitely one of the best helmsmen out there in the world. His real strengths are some of the quick, snap, sharp decision making. You put the boats in positions going 45, 50 knots, and he's very good at making those split-second decisions to put it in the right place.
Goody's very sort of focused on speed and trying to get the best out of the boat and trying to get clear of your competitor and sailing faster, whereas I like to generally keep the race really close with my competitor and try to get in a bit more of a match race. But that's a good thing. We've both got different styles and we can learn from each other.
I'm very confident that as a team we have the ability to pull this off. It's about getting it right on the day, but the talent that we have amongst ourselves is enough to get the job done.
No stopping the racing. Here's number 14, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Straight out the blocks, this team's polished performance will have been a wake-up call to the other challengers. Drivers Spittle and Bruni led the way in sharing the helm, and this time around seems smoother and calmer than ever. Looking after performance is trimmers Molinari's and Tissé, pumping life into the machine, clipping in Voltellini, Liuzzi, Brezzi and Olympic windsurfer Gamboni.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing, previously a 2 times America's Cup winner in 2003 and 2007. Sailing here in Barcelona is starboard helmsman Arnaud Sarafagis, and controlling the foil package behind him is Brian Matreau. Steering the yacht on the port side, 25-year-old Maxime Bachelon, joined by Nicolas Rollard. Augustin Malifer, Florian Trube, Paul Jacot and Arthur Servet round out the power-providing punters at the back of the bus.
So, race 14, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Let's be blunt, a win here will certainly put them right into the final. We are still waiting to see something special from Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
This is the race committee. We have completed the wind sampling, and this race is live.
So 2 minutes and 52 seconds to race start of number 14 in this Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. And I wonder if particularly the likes of Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli had a look at that last result and went, oh, okay.
Potentially a couple of raised eyebrows, but racing is racing. Very shifty and puffy out there, so any of these teams we've seen can take a race win. So all-important race for Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli here.
A little bit more breeze.
The final as well.
Land, we're seeing, over 12 knots. Good to go.
Absolutely not far off entry here, Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli.
So they have port entries. You can see the Italian flag. They've got to be in by no sooner than 2 minutes and 10. They'll come in a tiny bit late, but the Silver Bullet will just get in there, and they'll start their mini dance with Alinghi Red Bull Racing, who can't come in inside the 2 minute mark, and they'll come in just a little bit under, and here we go.
Being to board and transition up to board. Time 1:15. Fall into the boundary. They're going quite low. They're on the committee line. By one board. Also repeat. Committee line for us by attack here.
We've seen a confidence from Alinghi Red Bull Racing in the pre-start. I don't expect them to be intimidated by Jimmy Spittle.
They're going to be throwing the bell and the kitchen sink at these guys. Interesting to see what they do.
Luna Rossa heading deep into the box. Inside the ley lines.
Those red tram lines there. For those not into match racing, basically you want to stay inside that corridor. If you're outside that corridor, you risk getting locked out or missing the start.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing choosing not to engage. For them now, it's all about timing, when to get your foot on the gas and go for it.
Yep, they'll be looking to do a really big high-speed build here. Watch the speed increase as they come in to put the pressure on Luna Rossa Red Bull Racing. 33 knots.
Rush. Okay, 4, 2, 1, bottom.
Both boats still a little early.
Heavy push.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli having to defend here. Big speed difference there. 8 knots of boat speed.
I think he's pushing.
Back protest.
You're in trouble. 4, but there's coming attack. 4. Start on it.
Magnificent job there, Stephen.
Wow, what a start by Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They've forced the issue on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They'll have to go back over the line and restart.
Restart penalty, Italy.
Great job, Alinghi Red Bull Racing to start race number 14.
That is a huge pre-start scalp.
Italy still has restart penalty.
Oh, and they've got to go back even further. A massive mistake there from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They will be filthy with themselves for letting them get into that situation.
Maybe we saw this coming when we saw Alinghi Red Bull Race against the Emirates Team New Zealand yesterday, and the way they dialed up against them.
Surprised by Luna Rossa, weren't you? They were sitting ducks there, just, you know, too much time to kill, and Alinghi just pushed and pushed.
Just 2 down speed, and we talked about that big speed differential. Alinghi Red Bull Racing just 8, 9 knots faster, and doing a really good job there to put Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli on the back foot, and they have a massive deficit after a minute of sailing. They are 520 metres behind, so a huge job here to catch up to Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing half a kilometre ahead, and we're not even round at Mark 1. If you are them, you just need to calm it down, concentrate on performance.
Let's go to Chase 0 and Peter Lester. How about that for a start?
That had me on the edge of my seat. That was a fantastic start by Alinghi Red Bull Racing, and it just showed how powerful it can be if you get a boat really high, lots of speed, big push, and then Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli were a bit of a sitting duck, and even with, 10, 15 seconds to go, Jimmy Spittle said, oh, we're in trouble here, and they are in trouble. The other thing that's really noticeable is looking upwind, it's quite easy to see the wind on the water. Looking downwind, we're at the top mark, really hard to see the different gradient wind on the water just because of the colour differential.
Well, our team on the water, Stephen, thinks Italy may have had troubles with the starboard board, and we can definitely dive deep into that when we speak to Jimmy at the end of the race.
Well, we've been talking about, you know, if you want to be in this game, you've got to be reliable across the board. So part of the game, and they've suffered again. Let's take a look at that start again. That was an absolute ripper.
Just having a look at the virtual here, you see the boundaries of both boats overlapping there, so definite penalty there to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and then coming back to restart and then actually not restarting correctly, so a double unforced error, if you like.
They have that on a screen, so they should be able to see when it goes from, you know, red to green. So a bit of an error there for Luna Rossa.
This is a good test for Luna Rossa, Alinghi Red Bull Racing now. Right, now you've got the lead, but you hold the lead, right?
You pin the ears back and you send it. That's exactly what they'll be doing. They'll be just wanting to sail the boat cleanly from here, pick up those shifts, the puffs and the lulls, join the dot to dot. They'll be really looking to sail a clean tactical race from here to just stay in front of their opponents all the way through to the finish here.
The final day of this Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta, and 2 of the big dogs might be dunked in the water.
Well, as we've seen in the past, anything can happen at any particular time. So really, really great shots here. Looking down aboard Alinghi Red Bull Racing. The cycling team there of Augustin Malifa, Florian Trube, Paul Jacot and Arthur Survey. They will be absolutely balls to the wall, so to speak, putting a huge amount of power into those pumps. Very wavy conditions there, so fantastic to see them really commanding some authority in this race.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing heading to the top gate for the first time in a strong position. Absolutely dealt to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at the start. Now they have to take advantage of it as they head around and go downwind on the second leg.
Oh, a little wobbly rounding there. There would have been a little bit of ring pucker there from the guys. I saw that rudder get a bit close to the surface. I was like, oh, here we go, but they managed to keep it under control. Not easy in these wavy conditions to keep the boat sailing smooth. And
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. They get around the top gate for the first time and start the chase again downwind. And we know this is a quick boat.
Watching the flex of the rudder there as the boys bore the boat away. The structure's all working hard here, particularly in these waves, and not easy to sail in these conditions, but both teams doing a solid job.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.8 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 120.
Got to say, when you look at that shot with the Barcelona at the top of your screen, or whatever size your screen is around the world, it is a magical venue for AC75 sailing.
It's great to have the wind field, isn't it? We can see what Alinghi Red Bull Racing are about to sail into, and they'll be happy to see that breeze on the water and just try and extend.
Yeah, look at it. They're just getting sailing into the back of that pressure, and they will get carted down the course. You'll be able to see the angle change there as they get into that pressure compared to Alinghi Red Bull Racing. And yeah, wonderful images there from Capgemini of actually being able to see what Mother Nature is providing these boats as the power source.
It's interesting today. We're all a little bit concerned about the sea state and how all the teams would handle it, but they're handling it pretty well.
You'd much rather be on an AC75 than out there in a pleasure craft today. Super smooth on a foiling boat if you're sailing and foiling well, and you know, displacement boats rattle your teeth out trying to keep up with these boats on a day like today.
It's a big day though for the kit, isn't there? I mean, is there an element, Glenn, of sort of trying to look after stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. All these teams, you know, really having to look after their assets as they go forwards, but at the same time, you know, they're out there racing. Oh, that's...
Oh, hang on!
Oh, no! Alinghi Red Bull Racing, massive mistake there. Don't know if there's a boat issue here.
What has gone on leading the race?
Big trim, guys.
Luna Rossa absolutely hunting them down. They will blow round the front of Alinghi Red Bull Racing here if they can't get the boat up to speed quickly. And they're gone around the bow there. Oh, disaster for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They need to get the boat wound up again. Big job for the cycles here.
Critical moment in race number 14. You wouldn't believe it. All the pressure on Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
This is the umpires. Penalty Italy. Penalty Italy.
Just watching this here. Oh, just lost the rudder too high on the foils, and down you go. Talk about testing structures, Shirley. This is testing one right here. Bang, down she comes. And now we're seeing, I think, a penalty on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli for potentially not keeping clear as they overtook Alinghi Red Bull Racing. So interesting to see what we see here coming up.
Luna Rossa still has that penalty, a windward lured penalty, as you say, getting way too close.
Towards him, and we can do a U for left, maybe. Coming. Just an idea. Let's give it a try.
Yep, washing that 75-metre distance off. It's a get behind 75-metre distance here from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Oh my goodness! You think you've got them and then you get done. This is really game on in race 14. So Alinghi Red Bull Racing, despite that stuff, get back into the lead. And they're around the bottom mark and both heading upwind. Wow!
Hey, you got it. You got 50 metres. Happy with positive on the wind. On the wind. Penalty clear. Coming up. Hey, penalty clear. All good. Good shape. 35 target. Good go. Up if you want. Just 1 second, guys. Shut up. Okay. Get on target. And we're on the left team phase. All good, boys. Very good pressure here. That is good. And by check when you're ready. 2, 1.
Interesting, this next cross.
Tango.
Shirley coming up.
Building 6.
What a race.
Hello, over, Jimmy. I've got no bite.
Wow, you can just see how puffy and complicated this racetrack is. Look at the wind field.
The big puffs and lulls. Looks like Alinghi getting a nice one out there on the left-hand side.
Behind. We are in the game. A little righty coming too. A good righty for us. He may back on us. You keep the speed for the tag. Better now. Not slower. Back to keep it fast. No. Press here, Jimmy. I'm pressing. Speed is coming.
Huge pressure differential there across the course. So this is the replay of the penalty from Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, Shirley, and those electronic boundaries, oh, they must have only just crossed over there, but Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli didn't need to be that close. This is Alinghi's view out the window. Oh, there you go. Clean your goggles.
And although there was no contact, there is essentially a virtual bubble around the boats here. We see it now. And if those bubbles cross like they did right there, then that is way too close. And the penalty went to Luna Rossa.
This is the race committee. We are moving the leeward gate, shortening the course to 1.6 nautical miles.
We've got the live wind on the bottom of the screen there. It is going down, isn't it? We're seeing 8 knots now. It is forecast to drop as the day progresses.
It's similar. Maybe it's finding going to us. Yeah. Come up a click if you want. Yep, coming. Bit rumbling, boys. Good mod under. Happy with 0 here. A little game for us, potential.
Right of way boat, Alinghi Red Bull Racing on the starboard. Luna Rossa must keep clear. This is such a tight cross.
That's too hook. No.
That was a cracker of attack there.
Yep.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing leaving it really late and putting Luna Rossa under a lot of pressure.
There is no room for error if you pull off a manoeuvre like that, is there?
That was an absolute beauty.
We are seeing what potentially could be the start of a very big summer here in Barcelona. If we're going to have these boats going at it like this, cannot wait. Cannot wait. We're 4 days away from the Louis Vuitton Cup, the Challenger Selection Series.
Neck and neck between Luna Rossa and Alinghi. Nothing in it.
Taking back.
Be nice to see a little replay of that last cross at some point of the proceedings. And you see Alinghi Red Bull Racing just saying, stand by, cop some roost straight out the back of that rear tyre, clean your goggles, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and away you go.
Yep.
This is a nice. We've talked about the word aggressive earlier in the piece here today, but this is a nice aggressive showing from Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
There's an accuracy to the way they're sailing, and you're right, they're confident and aggressive. It's impressive.
I've actually got gain to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli here just in the last sort of 30 seconds, so stand by for the intersection coming into the top.
So despite all that, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli have made the gain to the top gate.
Right. 3, 2, 1, port down.
Going to take the right-hand mark as they set, left-hand mark as you set on whatever screen you're watching. 2 boards down just to make it nice and safe and heading down. So they've got their nose in front now of Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Not super windy below us, smell the pressure in front. Nice pressure.
Boat handling just so critical in these conditions, and I think Alinghi Red Bull Racing had a little wobble there just coming into the top half of the course, and a bad tack, and left the door open for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli to retake the lead. And interesting to see the 2 boats sailing downwind here into the coming pressure.
Let's go on to the chase boat for Alinghi Red Bull Racing. Petro Sabello joins us right now. Cracking start. This is not over yet, Petro. You must be on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, here on the chase we are all, or as you say, on the edge. Very emotional here, but yeah, we see in the last couple of days great job of the guys pushing the stars, and I think it's amazing what we are seeing. This is a real match race, and it's not easy to sail in this wave condition under pressure like that. So let's keep enjoying the show.
Petro, it's Glenn here, mate. You've obviously done a lot of sailing with Jimmy. You obviously know his strengths and weaknesses as well as Francesco's, and you've obviously passed on a little bit of that information to the boys, so well done, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. That's you know, the good side of it.
Nice, mate.
Most importantly, Petro, though, we're 4 days out from the Louis Vuitton Cup. This is the sort of performance that can really lift spirits going forward.
Yes, I mean, we are for sure raising our level every day, and yeah, we'll have a break in the next days to really sum up and be ready on Thursday.
Thanks, Petro. Enjoy the rest of this one.
Thanks, guys.
Pietro Sabello, of course, was the main sheet on Luna Rossa last time around. He knows Jimmy Spittle and Francesco Bruni inside out.
One of the nicest guys in the sport, Petro Sabello, joined by a super team on and off the water. Looking at the VMG numbers here coming downwind.
He goes, we let him go now.
Pretty nice little gain there back to Alinghi Red Bull Racing. But really good VMG there to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. So snakes and ladders as the boat surf the swell.
Coming up and by for lane.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 1.7 nautical miles.
Let's go to chase zero. Peter, there's been a lot going on. What do you make of it? What happened after heading to that top mark with the Alinghi Red Bull Racing?
Well, when they came around the top mark, I was really impressed by Luna Rossa. They got out, they got a nice little wind shift and probably more pressure as they approached the top mark for the second time and jumped into the lead. But what a great fight, and Alinghi Red Bull Racing, I think, have done a great job. Just unfortunately, they got a bit tired out at the bottom.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli at the bottom gate. Heading up now, 2 more legs to go. Close, close, close.
Actually average here, so it's not bad.
And Alinghi Red Bull Racing, not done with yet.
The split here, quite interesting. You see how puffy and shifty it is, Shirley, looking up the course, like trying to link all those dots together. Really, really tricky, and a big split now, so we're going to see some wobbles to both sides of the course.
Not just changes in pressure, but also in direction. And we've had the biggest lefty, we heard it on the comms from Luna Rossa, the biggest lefty of the day. So there's a lot going on.
Onto the chase boat of Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Philippe Presti joins us now live. This has had everything, this race, Philippe, but you must be comfortable at this point, are we, that you're marginally in the lead?
You're never comfortable in this sea state and shifty breeze. Today the sea state is very, very challenging. So Alinghi Racing did you know, a wipe up in one of the jibe, and then we had trouble with the pre-start, keeping the slow mode. So everything can happen still, but yeah, so far so good.
Philippe, have you trained in this before? Is this new for all the teams, today's conditions?
No, we've been trained before, but since July we had a lot of sea breeze from the south, quite flatty, and it's been a while we haven't done these big waves. But yeah, it's fun, it's super challenging, and anything can happen in these conditions.
That's what we love. Fun and super challenging. I'm going to remember that, Philippe. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome.
Okay. More wind on the right. Okay, we're going to attack pretty soon here, guys. Very good pressure. Stand by. In 3, 2, 1. Nice patch. Take windward in. Pressing. A good tip. Pressure's coming from the right. Coming back, yeah. Righty. Roll piano con sto Cunningham fiocco. -1 is good. Missing a bit of speed here if you want to press. That's waiting for this path. Here it comes. Okay, stand by, boys. You 2, 1.
So we'll see Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli with that lead that's sitting just under 200 metres against Alinghi Red Bull Racing. And if you have a very short memory, you'll remember they stuffed that boat and got back up, and Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli went past but got done for a too close pass. Had to get behind, but they have found a way to get past Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Nice defending by Luna Rossa, just tacked in control, but not aggressively, not forcing the other boat to have to tack straight away, and just leading them over to that right-hand side of the track, which they seem to prefer.
Yeah, sort of just a loose cover there, really, Shirley, you know, not really slamming the door shut, but just picking their moment with the puffs and the lulls. You know, these days it's difficult to know when exactly to tack. Do you take the shift? Do you take the puff? Do you sail another 50 metres into some better breeze? So a bit of a dance here of defending against your opponent, but also sailing the course as well.
It's so easy if you're the boat behind to get completely out of phase. Things just go from bad to worse. But Alinghi doing a great job of keeping it tight.
Punish him on the way back. Okay.
The voice of Jimmy Spittle. Punish them on the way back.
No surrender, no mercy.
Anytime. 2, 1.
Get the impression that Jimmy Spittle is fired up after this race. They've got control of it back after the stuff by Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
Nice straight in.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli for the final time at the top gate. Still being hunted down by Alinghi Red Bull Race. But you heard him say it. Let's punish them on the way back.
And catch.
Alinghi Red Bull Racing take the other mark and head down to the finish line.
Still plenty of opportunities here, as we saw before. Only one little wobble needed for a lead change, and it's shifty enough and puffy enough today that there is opportunities to make some gains.
This is the race committee. We are moving the finish line, shortening the leg to 1.5 nautical miles.
Back to the battery.
Breeze just dropping there a little bit. Course change shorter due to the slightly lighter wind from Alan Roberts and Ian Murray in race control.
One, and got him.
We're seeing a huge amount of traveller adjustment and a lot of panting from the cyclers.
They will be absolutely on the rev limiter, those boys. You hear them working hard, and because the apparent wind is just shifting around so much with the swell, the boat's accelerating, apparent moving forward, boat's slowing down, climbing the hill of the wave in front because you're overtaking the waves. You see how much the sail plan's moving around, and that apparent will be shifting a lot. You have to steer, but you also have to trim the sail plan, and basically the guys providing the power to move those huge sails on the AC75 are the cyclists. They're basically providing the power for the pumps.
2, 1, board down. And nice grip.
Fantastic shot there, Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli.
Nice wave here.
Both sides of the boat.
Almost laying, okay.
Working in unison there. Definite team effort to sail these boats well for sure.
Bit on the slow side, so get up, maybe with the numbers up. I think it's overreading a bit. Yeah, for sure.
Flight controller in the forward position. Big job for those guys today to keep the foils in the water, but high enough in the water that they're not picking up too much drag by flying the boat too low. So really threading the eye of the needle with their ride height. Very, very difficult to pick a good average. Looking forwards, scanning the water, and really, really anticipating what they're sailing into. Obviously got a lot of numbers, but also going a lot by feel as well.
Good pressure.
We hear a lot of comms about mode changes and coordinating that between the four of you. It's pretty hard to get that in sync.
I'm getting a little lift, a little slide here, trying to hook up again. Big lift, it feels like, or line. I try and build for the jibe. 3. Anytime. I'm coming down.
Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli. One of the big guns in the America's Cup. And they've come back from a poor start, a penalty. They've come home to win race number 14 and put themselves in the final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. Well, they will face up to Emirates Team New Zealand.
I think we go on the usual corner. Yeah. We're going 2 boards, Umbi? Yeah, all right.
There is no denying that Alinghi Red Bull Racing, this team, are improving their tactical game big time, as you saw at the start. And they will finish this preliminary regatta with a lot of confidence going into the Louis Vuitton Cup in 4 days. They will cross the line behind Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, but they won't feel too bad. There's a long way to go.
Nice one. Good push on the back, guys. Very good job.
Yeah, brilliant job, Alinghi Red Bull Racing. They should really, really be proud of that effort. Fantastic job.
Yeah, and confirmation too. A 46-second deficit to Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli, but that sort of stacks up our final. It'll be Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli against Emirates Team New Zealand. Confirmation of the standings, 4 wins apiece, and that's how she was rode. And there we are, just got one more race to come. Looking forward to this one too. Orient Express Racing, Ineos Britannia.
Oh, we had a lot going on from the very start. Luna Rossa pushed over the line by Alinghi over early and then had to dip back.
Teams, you know, really having to look after their assets as they go forward.
Manoeuvring in these conditions so hard and so easy to get it wrong. A big loss and a big fly from Alinghi Red Bull Racing.
I think this one, Shirley, for me, was something that, you know, that picture just not being painted quite well enough from the leeward side of Luna Rossa, Prada, Pirelli there. Didn't really need to push quite that close. Fantastic viewing for us as spectators, but copped a penalty in the process.
Nice comeback by Jimmy Spittle and his band
Doing it the
of
hard way.
brothers.
Nice work on the bikes, boys.
Well
Sorry about
done.
that.
They did it the hard way.
Doing it the hard way.
Let's go on to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Jimmy Spittle standing by for a quick chat. Well, horror start, penalty, and you got the job done. Congratulations.
Yeah, I guess there's the easy way and the hard way. That was certainly the hard way.
Nice, Jimmy. Glenn here. It's nice to give us something to talk about here, mate. That was pretty exciting. So, yeah, looks like some good viewing, but, yeah, definitely made it interesting for us. Thanks, mate.
Jimmy, it's Shirley here.
Oh, you're welcome, mate. Yeah, no problem.
Jimmy, give us a little insight into that start. What went wrong?
We're trying to close him up a bit, coming back to the line. Got a little bit greedy with it, and then when I tried to go board up, I had a little delay. So I couldn't get it up when I wanted to, and then, yeah, those guys did a nice job and were able to push us over. So, yeah, I mean, look, really full credit though to the boys, especially on the bikes, when we're sort of really throwing a lot of manoeuvres in there, and we had to get back into it. So they really got us back into that one.
Thanks, mate. We'll jump across to Francesco. The most important thing out of this one, you get the win, and you get it out under duress in a funny old way.
Picture well for Jimmy. I saw them coming with a lot of extra speed, but I mean, we know that this is going to happen. It's just very hard to judge if you can how quick you need to build. Especially, we had a little problem with the windward board not coming up, which made it a lot harder for us.
All right, appreciate the time, mate. Got to jump across to Elingi Red Bull Racing. Maxime, just a quick question. A strong way to finish the preliminary regatta ahead of the Louis Vuitton Cup.
I think we were very happy with the power we had from the bike. They push really hard. So yeah, happy with the penalty we gave. But yeah, it was a bit difficult for us, the wave today. We just need to get back to it.
All right, good luck for the Louis Vuitton Cup. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Let's go. Race 15, Orient Express Racing, Ineos Britannia.
Last to hit the water in their AC75. The French team have struggled this week. Reliability and nerve slightly hiding the potential of a fast-looking boat. They will hope to end this preliminary event with a solid, error-free day. Well, driving duties are shared by great friends Delapierre and Pepinay, and keeping the boat rapid, Saunders and Van Damme. And pumping the oil through the veins of the boat are a band of the nation's great endurance athletes, the Verhoeven brothers, Lapau and Nogaret.
Ineos Britannia, challenger of record for the 37th America's Cup here in Barcelona, have had a solid improvement over the last couple of days here in competition. Skipper Ben Ainsley in the driver's seat on starboard, and behind him controlling the foil package is Bledden Mon. Sitting on the opposite side of the yacht is Dylan Fletcher and Leroy McMillan, Matt Gottrell, Ben Cornish, Matt Rossiter and Neil Hunter, using their legs to provide the energy for the pumps on these AC75 class yachts.
This is the race committee. The wind sampling period is complete and this race is live.
So we are a go for race 15. It'll be port entry for Orient Express Racing, starboard entry for Ineos Britannia. I think we're all sitting waiting for a full race from Orient Express Racing. We never got the chance yesterday, even though they were up and running, and it'll be this will be an interesting watch, this one.
Yeah, important for Orient Express to have a good, solid race. Not necessarily a win, but to have a few days off now before we start the Louis Vuitton round robin with just a bit of confidence.
2 minutes and 10 is when you can enter coming in from the port side. That will be Orient Express Racing. They'll be good for time. It'll be 2 minutes for Ineos Britannia that they can get into that start box.
Ok, c'est pas ce qu'on attend.
Je fais une entrée, je relâche.
The French here a little bit late, at risk of being dialed here by the British. They'll have to keep clear.
Ok, super. Pars pas le bateau. Ouais, ça relève les gars.
Ineos protesting that Ineos did not keep clear. They were so vulnerable late into the box.
Yeah, it's all important to keep the pace on for those entries. So that's not what the French need. Penalty for that not keeping clear episode.
Can't buy a trick in this regatta at the moment, can they, Orient Express Racing?
Well, they just need to get the pace on here and actually get the boat sailing well, get that board up and get it ripping, and actually make sure they execute this next manoeuvre well. Really slow here. They need to pace the boat up. Just having a look at a replay here, Shirley. Yeah, absolutely sitting ducks there. The French just not having the pace on in that entry. Just pretty easy pickings there for the British.
Late into the box, both slow and late.
Ok, your wheel.
Yeah, the British here basically doing their own sort of time on distance. They've gone out, they've obviously got the penalty on the French, gone out to the other side of the course. They'll be coming back and they'll be looking to tack or jibe inside the French here on their own time on distance for another push.
No problem here. Be working up.
Boats now head to head coming together. We never see this.
A pretty easy start there for the British, just tack and cleared the line there.
I think they realised they were over the line and they were just by a couple of seconds.
The British there, just a little mistake by them, but they do have the advantage.
So we are underway in at race 15, Orient Express Racing and Ineos Britannia. Confused like the sea state that start.
A little unorthodox, and crikey's a little mistake there by Ineos Britannia has just opened up the door for the French, and French now leading by 70 metres, Shirley.
French did well. They got up to speed really quickly.
They did a great job. I mean, they were a little bit behind the gun when it went, but they were wheels up, so they just have to sail the boat cleanly here. It's all about executing and just sailing the boat cleanly from here for them.
On to chase zero with Peter Lester. What was your read on the start?
Well, it's a bit challenging out here, Stephen. I didn't see it. We lost our signals, but I did see that lead change there, and it was the French just got a ripper of a start in the end after getting rid of their penalty, and now we've got another brilliant match race.
It's definitely unorthodox to start, but the desired result, getting off the line for Orient Express Racing, Shirley.
It's sometimes like that when you're match racing. If it doesn't follow the form you're expecting, you're like, right, okay, what now? And it sort of looked like that with the British team. Out on the left-hand side, you never go there, do you? That's like just the death zone.
Gives us something to talk about anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
We are getting it all on day 4 of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. Emirates Team New Zealand being beaten by American Magic. The Italians getting home after a penalty, and also a poor start and that big stuff by Alinghi Red Bull Racing. And now we've got another cracking match race on our hands.
Nice, little bit of pressure on us here. Giving you some push here. So I think to take this if you can. Yeah, 2, 1, forward down. 3, 2, 1, main. Turning. Okay, fine. Fine. 2, 1, going forward. This then. Yep. Sorry, Frizzy, I need to tap then. Yep, all good. Any ones?
We have seen glimmers of pace, haven't we, Glenn, from both these boats, just starting really to see the boats potential. And of course, Orient Express have the sister ship to Emirates Team New Zealand, so they got all the goods. They just need to work out how to make it roll.
Let's go to chase zero. Pete, what are you seeing at the top of the course?
Yeah, it looks pretty light right up at we're at the top mark, and it certainly looks lighter. And if I'm looking out, the centre right looks to be the best pressure coming down at the top mark.
On est un peu plus lent même. Ça accélère, Jazz. Un peu plus de pêche dans le jeep.
Voice of Canton Delapierre, they're very happy with the performance of the way the boat's being sailed. Not easy conditions to sail the boats in here, and the boys doing a really nice job at the moment.
On a la bonne bouée, 25 mètres de gain.
C'est super les gars, on a un rythme tranquille en ligne droite.
Peut-être prendre un poil de gain, s'il vous plaît.
Nice guys, better pressure offshore I think. Yeah, nice lefty here. Hey, still going left. They've gone to ley line. Great. Taking some main, going halfway. Nice lefty at the moment, hopefully it comes back right a bit. All the way to 30 here. Yeah. Final trim coming.
This race absolutely well and truly alive. Surely what we're seeing here, obviously a big split at the moment. The French letting the British, sail over the right-hand side, big split there. But the next intersection will be quite interesting as they come back together again.
As we've seen, so important to pick your moment for a manoeuvre, and I think the French were comfortable. They were sailing a breeze, didn't really want to engage and increase the risk.
If they can lay this right-hand turn, I've got that being quite a big gain for the French there. One less manoeuvre potentially up towards the top, and the manoeuvres in these conditions so costly. If they can make it, which it looks like they are, I've got them actually with quite a comfortable lead here.
Orient Express Racing coming into the top mark for the first time in this race, and supporters will love to hear that. They are leading Ineos Britannia as they head on the downward leg. Ineos Britannia finally getting to that top mark.
Est-ce garde un peu le bateau rapide?
Away they go downwind. 16 seconds the delta.
20, 30, slow to turn.
Quite a loss for Ineos Britannia right at the top end.
Nice here, a little bit down again.
My trap?
Your trap.
Aiming boundary, we get the options. Yep.
He's about okay. Go slower than this.
Yep.
Lock it in.
25 to boundary.
Yeah, a little more pressure on in 5 here. There's that little let down maybe.
Yep.
Here's just a little reminder of the rather crazy start when GBR were there and then they weren't.
The start was full of unforced errors. I mean, really surprising to see. Ineos Britannia too early on the line, came back but didn't quite clear it. Only went halfway back. You got to clear the whole thing and then had to redo it again. They lost a lot from that.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, shortening the course to 1.45 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 110.
So a little wind shift there, a little lull as well. So marks moving and course shorter. The French will be hoping that the finish just comes towards them as quickly as possible. They're sailing well. Really good comms here on board.
You've been working with the French team, Glenn. I mean, they were late to get their boat. They waited for the final design to come from New Zealand, knowing that they would be short of time to get to grips with it. I mean, how impressed are you with them today?
Oh, look, it's just fantastic to see the team, you know, out on the water and actually racing. It's, you know, they've been waiting for this moment for a long time. You know, haven't had a huge amount of time on the water compared to everybody else, and you can just see the team there. Flight control in the front, helmsman in the second position, third and fourth, the cyclors on both sides, and the team will be really loving seeing the guys get the boat around the track. But they have had a wobbly jibe. Bow on bow here. Oh, and a lead change, Ineos Britannia. It's just one little wobble. One little wobble. And a lead change.
So risky in those light spots.
Got to go down now. Okay, driving here. It's going to be tough. Yeah. 2, 1. Big one. Here we go.
Good to see a little replay at some point of the French in that jibe. I just missed what happened there in that jibe. It looked like they got through okay, but just having a look here, it's obviously just the last intersection there, and see the pace of Ineos Britannia coming down there with the French being down speed, and my gosh, you don't need much for things to change quickly there. French just needing to pull a clean jibe off here, and they're still in the game. This race is absolutely well and truly alive still here, so just need a clean jibe. On board Ineos Britannia here.
French coming back on starboard. They've got the right of way.
They're getting going. Close cross. May still have you crossing here.
Big decision time here for Ineos Britannia.
Nice. No problem. Okay, coming up the lane. Protest. Okay, protest, ouais, c'est bon, c'est fait. Reste en médium, les gars, désolé. Ça va être contact en bas.
Protest button being pushed there by the French, but I think they were clear. Ineos, I think, were okay, but it'd be interesting to see what.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate again, shortening the course to 1.35 nautical miles.
Both teams really having to work in this final race before the final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. And Ineos Britannia will head into that bottom gate ahead and just ahead of Orient Express Racing. So tight this final goes. Ineos Britannia around. In come Orient Express Racing.
British there, just taking a tactical decision there to come back. The ghost boat sort of saying that probably better to go all the way to boundary for pressure, but tactically they've made the decision to come back early and just keep in touch with the French.
I think they're nervous of left-hand bottom side of the track where the French had a poor manoeuvre. Really light in there. Still close again, Glenn. Nothing.
Really puffy and shifty, so...
Tell you what, if I was in that chase boat, I saw them coming up here, I'd been a little slightly nervous. Big cross coming.
French right of way.
Little touchdown by Ineos there, and we'll wash a bit of pace off. Really close here still, so anyone's game here. Any one little wobble.
Let's go into the chase boat for Ineos Britannia coach Rob Wilson. You just heard Glenn Ashby say anyone's game. Does it feel like that for you at the moment, Rob?
Yeah, it's super tricky conditions. You know, like if you drop one jibe, it can be all over. So it'll be pretty nerve-wracking for both the teams.
Should we talk about the start or leave it alone?
I think we'll leave it alone for now. But
nice, Robbie.
You know, again, it's pretty tricky in these light winds.
All right, appreciate the time, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
We could try and tack on them, but I think we're right phase and in breeze here. Okay. Looks better right all the time. Yeah, we're crossing them by 2 lengths. Copy.
Well, the comms on board there, not to hit the French there, Shirley. Really interesting comms there.
On to chase 0. Pete, what you got?
Well, it's getting light and really patchy at the top of the course. Ineos Britannia are now coming across, and so now roll into attack, just keeping in phase. But really, I think it's about keeping in the pressure and the little wind cells It's just getting light and really funky, still with that decent seaway running.
All right, let's go back on aboard Ineos Britannia.
Let me know what you want on main here. Just normal numbers, never slow, I think. Taking main. That boat's good now, Joel. Main is good. Oh, it's good pressure here. Very odd. This way. Breeze coming in 5. Yeah. Stay tight. Now. Yeah, I think we hit them. Yeah, keep going. 2. No, hold it. Okay, stand by. 2. 1, board down. Moving. 2. 1. Board is made. Turning. Okay, 1. 2. 1. Going board. Yeah, nice. Normal motion here. Okay, step by step.
British just doing a pretty stock standard manoeuvre there, hurting them on the long tack, forcing the French to tack away and keep the air around that twin skin rig clear. Shirley, lots of manoeuvres is tricky in these waves.
Ineos there were confident, they were in pressure, they had good pace and were happy to really be aggressive. As you say, you really have to pick your moments, weigh up the risk and reward of every manoeuvre.
Nice, they tack now. Maybe just get
Ineos Britannia having to do one more tack to come into the top gate there, and if the French can pick up a little sniff from the right here, they'll be back in the game again. So pressure on Ineos Britannia to pull off a nice solid manoeuvre here, and then make a choice of which gate they take at the top.
Ineos Britannia, great breeze on that side of the track.
Havertz crossing at this.
Both boats about to complete the halfway mark in race 15 here in Barcelona.
Right in town. Okay, your trap. Okay, my wheel here, your wheel.
And it will be
great racing.
Ineos Britannia taking the left mark as you see it. And you'll see behind them, there go Orient Express Racing.
On a une bonne presse ici.
40 knots exit speed there in 8 or 9 knots of breeze and big seaway. Reasonably impressive numbers. That next intersection, Shirley, from the Ghost boat saying that they should almost be bow and bow. Let's see what happens here.
Going board. Nice there, boys. Nice job to dig.
This is the race committee. We are shortening the course to 5 legs. Finish at the next windward gate.
So it'll be an upwind finish for race 15 here at the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. That'll make it interesting.
Ineos Britannia just hooking into a nice little bending breeze there. You can see the track.
Let's go into the chase boat for Orient Express Racing. Their coach Thierry Douillard joins us right now. Terry, you'd be happy to see this boat up and running, and they're doing a strong job.
To be fair, we're a bit frustrated because I think we made a wrong jeep choice just before the start, so we are under power. So in terms of performance, pretty hard for the boys, and to be able to go around all the maneuvers, I think it's really hard for them, but that is the way it is. So they have to keep pushing. Still one small down, small up to go to the top mark. So they are fighting, but for sure with the J3 it's not easy.
Yeah, Terry, it's Glenn here. The boys doing a really nice job there. Obviously the breeze up and down a lot, but great to see the team out there racing hard, and I think the whole wider team would be really happy to see the boat sailing really well. So very much in the race. It's fantastic.
Yeah, thanks, mate, for sure. They are fighting hard. We are close enough to push them, so let's keep going. We'll see you at the end. Ready for next week.
Super, merci.
Super, merci. Au revoir.
Such a big call, the jib selection. So hard to make it, isn't it, in these difficult conditions?
Yeah, really interesting seeing the two boats with the two different sail plans, but yet racing, quite close. So in the puffs, that'll suit the smaller jib, and in the lulls, it'll suit the bigger one. So because it's so puffy and shifty, both boats taking their turns.
Okay, let's go.
we are not done with here in race 15. Remember, this is the second to last leg. They've changed the course. It'll be an upwind finish.
I'm board. Probably white can here, right? No, we're good. There we round up, coming quick. Big. Well done, lads. Follow. Yeah. Can't get a high. You can get a try.
Ineos Britannia coming into the bottom gate for the final time and heading upwind for the finish in race 15.
Whoa! Oh, wobble there. Ineos Britannia just may have got away with that. That was really close to a splashdown. French only just getting hooked up out of that jibe as well. So right on the edge there of not being able to get down and around that mark on the foil. So really tricky conditions, Shirley, in this bumpy light air with these, you know, super highly tuned boats. And Ineos Britannia sort of look like they're sailing away pretty comfortably now.
French lost a lot of pace, didn't they, in that approach to the bottom mark.
The final jibe was pretty tricky there, a little bit lighter air. Just having a look at this mark rounding, if we can. Oh, here we are, of the British coming around, and oh, nearly a full splashdown there. It looked like a possible vent of that leeward foil, and just had enough pace on. We'll just have a look there. Wow. That was nearly an absolute Barry Crocker for the British.
Good pressure fan above. Little surge here as well. Will be alive. Just pushing a tiny bit of windward here actually, Leroy. Lovely.
Yeah, well, Bernie would have had the heart rate a bit higher than it was probably 20 seconds before that mark rounding, I think, but they're certainly settling in now, and his heart rate will be back under control. I don't know about the cyclors though. They'll be pretty much maxed out, I'd say, after those massive trim efforts going around the bottom.
I mean, listening to the comms loop, it is like 80% about performance, isn't it? It's keeping it all going. On the British boat, we hear a lot from Lee McMillan leading that performance loop.
Yeah, Lee McMillan, absolute legendary multi-hull and high-performance sailor, moths, catamarans, you name it. Lee's able to do it, and very much in the performance loop of Ineos Britannia, as are many of the guys. And you've got to have a big field of depth and a lot of knowledge to make sure you're on the right path. So they're doing a great job.
Heading towards the top mark, which will be the finish for race 15. Ineos Britannia look like they have managed to snatch this one out of the bag. Far more experienced team, to be fair, against Orient Express Racing. And again, it'll be another confidence boost heading to the Louis Vuitton Cup in 4 days' time here in Barcelona.
Still think, yeah, it is right, we can go with them here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, stand by. Okay, 2, 1, forward moving. 3, 2, 1. About that. 2, 1.
A nice tack there. Orient Express Racing, that was a really good one in some pretty bumpy conditions there. So nice little game.
Ineos Britannia have taken a lot of meterage on this leg.
They've been sailing some nice shifts, obviously sailing the boat well, but also picking up some nice shifts as well. So it's definitely a yacht race as well as a design race. Goes hand in hand.
One and in. Popping 10 seconds on the box. Breeze is currently left.
Dylan Fletcher painting the picture for Ben Ainsley on the starboard side.
2, 1, board down. Tag still. 2, 1, made. Turning. Very well. 2, 1, going board. On the move.
Ineos Britannia lined themselves up for the finish line, an upwind fish in a 5-leg race.
I was a bit locked in there. Yeah, I just thought I might give you a nudge. That's good.
And they will come home very happy. Win number 2 in the Preliminary Regatta, but more confidence boost ahead of the Louis Vuitton Cup. The challenger of record gets the job done here in Barcelona in race 15.
Okay, all the way down. 5, 15, 8, Let's go. Hurry up. Fine, Trav. Trav. Hold it, let's go. Quite a lefty here, but we want to...
Really nice to see the French team, Shirley, getting around the racetrack, and to be a big confidence boost for the team. Boat working really, really well, and you know, they're going to be coming out firing over the next few days of racing coming up.
Orient Express Racing, we've been waiting for them to show their stuff. They've shown us a little bit of it. They are still very bolshy. They believe their involvement will be swift, and that is something we can look forward to. Lots of work in the next 4 days as Orient Express Racing cross the line to complete their Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta.
On the way.
Une belle manche, les gars, il y a des belles choses. Bravo.
So confirmation of the final race in the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta round robin, and it's Ineos Britannia getting the win, 48 seconds ahead of Orient Express Racing. Win number 2 for Ineos Britannia. Points-wise, how does it shake up? Well, you've got 2 teams on 4 points, but the top qualifier will be Emirates Team New Zealand. They will get port entry for the final. And there is your confirmation of how it all went down. Top 2 qualifiers out of all of this get to go. Who will be the winner? You will find out very, very soon.
Well, there was lots of moments in the pre-start, wasn't it? But the French late and slow into the box. They were a sitting duck. A little bit of a schoolboy error there and copped a penalty. We weren't really sure what was going on with Ineos Britannia, but over the line without a boat pushing them, came back to clear it. It didn't come back quite far enough, so a double dip for Ineos Britannia.
The second gate here, race absolutely still on, and it was really anyone's game. Really, really close racing, and in the end, it was the British using the slightly bigger jib in those lighter conditions that came through and took the race win. But fantastic for Orient Express Racing to complete the course and show what they're made of, and hopefully in the mix for the coming races in the next week or 2.
Let's go on board Ineos Britannia. Congratulations on the win, Ben. Your coach didn't want to talk about the start. You want to talk about the start?
Pretty tricky, wasn't it? It went really light. I think he got down to 7 knots at one point, and with that sea state, it's pretty hard to keep these things on the foil. We managed to get a penalty but on France, but then in trying to keep the boat on the foil, we got ourselves over the line, which equalised it out. So yeah, it wasn't a great one. Certainly something good to look at back on shore.
Yeah, nice recovery. Let's go along to Dylan.
Dylan, congratulations. What a race. There was plenty going on. I mean, how hard was it to stay in the pressure and stay ahead of France?
Yeah, I think we've seen today it's quite tricky out here with the sea state and less wind at the start line, so good street fight out there and good to get the win.
Having fun, Dylan?
Yeah, always.
Thanks for your time, mate. Appreciate it. Let's go on board Orient Express Racing. Quentin Dulapierre. Quentin, congratulations. Nice to see the boat finally get around the track. You're comfortable with the way that race unfolded?
Sorry, can you say again? I can't hear you.
Quentin, great to see the boat out racing. How comfortable were you with that race today?
Yeah, I think there is a lot of improvements today. We were in the fight, so which is good. I do think that we were probably under power, and for the next one will be way easier.
Okay, appreciate the time, mate. We're going to jump across and have a chat to Kevin. Glenn?
Kep, it's Glenn here. I know you're steering the boat at the moment, so you might not be able to hear me, but well done, mate. You got the boat around the track, and a fantastic race. How was it?
Yeah, the shore crew made an amazing job to get the boat in shape. We are struggling with, we have the Saint Quentin, the lower jib. But we made some good things and some
some errors too, so we're gonna work more and be ready for the Louis Vuitton Cup.
Fantastic, mate. No, well done. Enjoy a break, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon, mate, for a coffee.
Yeah, cheers.
Well, this was a cross downwind and a lead change to GBR. I mean, this was one of the lead changes we saw in the race. Downwind, France looking good, but their speed slows as they sail into a light spot, and they need to come out high from the jibe, and GBR slips into the lead. We could hear on board how worried the teams were about the light patches, and it was a well-founded fear.
You are watching the most technologically advanced sailing fleet on the planet, battling it out on the waters of Barcelona. The AC-75 is impressive, and it's had quite the tune-up since the last Cup. It's quicker and meaner than ever. But so, what's changed for version 2 of the world's fastest falling monohull? And what will the new protocol mean for this year's regatta?
The yacht for the 37th America's Cup is an AC-75. But it's the new improved AC-75. The boats are about 1 ton lighter.
The weight was mainly taken out of the foils. One of the ways we reduced the total weight of the boat was also to reduce the crew from 11 to 8.
I think with these changes in mind, the AC-75 should perform a lot better in the lower wind speeds.
We want the race to be decided by the sailors and the boat design, not the weather forecast.
The masts, rigging, foil cant arms and the hydraulic cant system are all standard components across all of the boats.
The foil wings are what's carrying the entire weight of the boat.
The foil wings this campaign have grown from 4 metres to 4.5 metres in length, so they're now longer and skinnier. And this time the teams are only allowed to build 3 foils for their AC-75s. And this is where the game can be lost or won.
The rudder has 2 tasks. The first task is to control the direction in which we sail. And the second one is to stabilize the pitch angle at which the boat is sailing. It's the same as the tail wing on a plane.
Everything that moves under the water is hydraulically controlled, but this is powered by batteries.
The crew of 8 is pretty much split into 2 groups.
We've got 4 sailors on the boat. We've got a helm on each side.
The helmsmen are largely steering. And the trimmers are controlling the foils, the flight altitude of the boat.
And then there'll be 4 sight claws, 2 on each side. Their job is to provide the power to move all of the different sail controls, and this happens via the hydraulic system.
The hull is principally about aerodynamics, but also all of the systems we need to fit into that.
So the control systems are more complex this time, such that with a single push of a button, the sailors can do several things at the same time.
Put your head inside one of those AC-75s, you would be absolutely amazed at what goes on to make those boats work. Like, they are quite something. They are a serious piece of engineering.
In this protocol, you're only allowed to build 1 AC-75, but it does put a lot of pressure on the team, specifically the design team, because you've only got 1 bullet really to fire.
We still call it a boat, we call it a hull, but yeah, it's closer to an aeroplane.
Here it is, the final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta.
The defenders have come out of the blocks looking on the money. Not only quick, but also tidy in combat. The addition of driver Nathan Outridge to Pete Burling has for sure tightened up the delivery. Trimming our regulars Maloney and Took, and pushing out the wattage for the 2nd time today, Allen and Bond, and providing some fresh legs on the pedals for the big one, Vanderpool and Crosby.
The Italian team of Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli have really impressed the past few days of racing here in Barcelona. Francesco Bruni, Jimmy Spithill, Umberto Molinari and Andrea Tessi make up the afterguard. Enrico Voltolini, Cesar Gabbia, Amal Luisi and Luca Kerwin make up the power source for this final here in Barcelona.
So there are the helms ready to go into battle.
This is the race committee. We have passed the wind test and this race is live.
We are live for the final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta off the coast of Barcelona. And you couldn't ask for two bigger teams to go head-to-head. The defender of the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup, Emirates Team New Zealand, and the team they faced in the 36th match, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli.
Potential advantage to Luna Rossa. They've already done a race. They know the track inside out.
Emirates Team New Zealand coming up after suffering their first loss of the regatta against Team USA, both with 4-1 records.
In the start box.
In they come, the defender. And from the right-hand side, the starboard side, here comes Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Hold on to these seats on this one.
Coming down, boys.
Tidy entries from both boats.
Normal downwind guys. Or coming in.
Very high slope.
50
down now.
And quite low. It could be low on committee layout. Yeah, we could be on a sec to wind, okay? Laid him down. Probably going to switch up from there. Crossing in front. Oh, you can go. 45 for the boat. Nice and smooth. No worries.
Oh, I've almost got
just you and the
really
wall,
close
the
intersection of the diamonds there.
He hasn't got speed attack, so just keep stretching. No worries. Combine 2. You're in the middle of the train tracks here. 22 for the pin. Everything here.
New Zealand put the flag up. They've asked for the jury to have a look at that incident.
16 for the pin. They're quite out in the line.
This is the umpires. Penalty Italy. Penalty Italy.
There we go. I thought those diamonds were close. Penalty for the Italians there.
Or in a high mode after the start. Or an early tack. The speed's increasing as we go. Just watch that charge at you here, Pete. Hey, stand by for a barrel away here.
Coming soon.
Hey, bearing away. Got a 1 if you want it, Pete. Our guys don't dump the ship too early.
Both teams really reluctant to manoeuvre too much.
The pin's now open. This right is looking good. It's going to be a tack on the
Luna Rossa building pace.
Okay, fellas. Full speed here. Hey, slowly turning right here. Looks good to boundary for me. Hey, turning right.
Engine attack on the go.
Yeah. On and board's going.
Got him now.
It's on. The final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta 2024 in Barcelona.
I'm on it. That's the angle. Hey, he's tacked. Get his speed for.
I'm showing it to numbers.
He's not setting his proper course, so we should be.
It's bit of reason 15. I don't think you attack bent here. Yeah, 3.
Luna Rossa discussing how they're going to shake that penalty off.
Yeah, having to lose 75 metres for that infringement in the pre-start.
Yeah, they've gone, so we hit right. 15.
Right, we are go.
2, 1. Slightly fast build, please. And button.
They're just still building to leeward. What are your thoughts when we go back here? Just breathing to leeward.
Hey, stand by.
My eyes.
Just have a quick
go a little further here.
look at the replay of the start here. Just if we can.
They're going now.
You look at, so the imaginary diamonds here on the boat, you cannot get too close with the foils, and only probably 2 metres from tip to tip there of the foils, which is way too close there. So Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli copping a penalty for not keeping clear. Just having a look at here with the actual diamonds of what the umpires see, and intersection there, just over, there you go. Doesn't have to be much, but it's enough.
There is no grey area.
No, it's like the tennis, the ball's either in or out with Hawkeye, and that's exactly the technology we have here as well.
Let's go on to the Water Chase Zero. Peter Lester, give us your thoughts, buddy.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting, and it was a close call. But the other thing that I was interested in is when Luna Rossa actually tacked on the line, Emirates Team New Zealand came and got in sync with them. That forced Luna Rossa to give away extra distance to leeward to get that 75 metres. That was good, clear thinking by Burling and Outeridge.
So, first up wind beat for both these yachts in the Preliminary Regatta final. Currently the lead held by the defender of the America's Cup, Emirates Team New Zealand.
Don't go yet. They're still holding on like a high, slow mode.
Stand by.
Good mode, too.
That's pressure now on the lane.
How they're going?
Just a beautiful shot of how we get those aerial shots. There's one of our helis hovering around like a little bee.
There it is.
Shift there.
Although those choppers look real close to the boats, they're actually well and truly above them, 500 feet minimum. The roost off the choppers well and truly above the rig height of the boats and not affecting their wind in any way.
It's a pretty talented pilot, that's for sure.
Wouldn't mind swapping out the commentary role for having a go on one of those choppers, but I think the camera shots would be too good if I was up there.
Also 105, so it should be a
little right.
Emirates Team New Zealand on a great run to this top gate for the first time.
Oh well.
Maybe. I'd build.
Going on 5. Position.
Go for it.
I think a slow turn.
Top mark entry for the first time, and it'll be advantage Emirates Team New Zealand in the final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. But you never know what happens today because we have seen it all. Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli recovering from that start box penalty.
Getting better now. Good part of the rounding position.
And rounding that right-hand mark.
Not a whole lot in this. Only one little wobble as we've seen in the past, and Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli will be right up the exhaust pipe of Emirates Team New Zealand. Not easy conditions to sail these boats, and you can see the puffs and lulls. 38, 39 knots of boat speed, 40 knots of boat speed in what is really, really light, bumpy conditions. So boats absolutely gobbling up this downwind at pace and having to jibe off the boundary shortly.
On to Chase Zero, Peter.
Just in terms of the conditions, Glenn, one for you. Do you go up a jib size with it being so choppy and a bit funky, as opposed if it was steady conditions?
Yeah, good question, Pete. I think certainly the bumpier water puts you onto a slightly more powered up setting, so you will be in range, but you'll be wanting to be in the more powered up range, which is using the bigger jibs. So all jibs having a crossover, you definitely want to be making sure that you're erring on the side of being powered up, not underpowered in these conditions. Absolutely, with the bumpy water.
This is the race committee. We are moving the windward gate, lengthening the course to 1.5 nautical miles and shifting the axis to 100.
Well, the wind has trended left all day. I think we started on like 130 or something, and now we're at 100. So tough day for the race management team.
Even good.
They're turning this cadence.
Difficult here.
Just showing the predicted course there on the Capgemini wind field. Both boats there getting a little bit of a wind. There's definitely shifts there.
What are you liking? I think it's okay to go back.
The simulator not saying double jibe at this point in time.
We've seen a lot of unforced errors today, Glenn, haven't we? Really, perhaps it just demonstrates how tough it is to be super accurate in this kind of bump.
Yeah, no autopilots flying the boats on the 75s. On the 40, yes, but on the 75s, all manually controlled. So flight controllers doing a really great job pushing the boundaries, not getting too high, not getting too low, getting it just right.
Just a quiet reminder that we have the Unicredit Youth America's Cup coming up in this regatta. Also the Booch Women's America's Cup is going to be a busy time here in the summer of Barcelona. Emirates Team New Zealand, bottom mark. First time with the lead on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in the final.
Probably going to go a bit just to clear your air.
Nice clean rounding there. Emirates Team New Zealand, no skids, one board.
Luna Rossa, Prada Pirelli finally getting around. Let's take a look at the delta, 16 seconds, nothing in it. Let's go on board the chase boat for Emirates Team New Zealand. Ray Davies, strongest start, solid performance so far, Ray.
Yeah, great start there. Obviously a little port starboard incident. Those diamonds stuck out a little bit further than Luna Rossa thought there, obviously, and just clipped. And yeah, look, tough conditions and like crossover between these sails and some big holes in the breeze out here, so it's anything could happen yet for sure.
All right, thanks for your time, mate.
Luna Rossa had a good run. They have closed that gap, nearly half the distance that we saw at its worst. It's not over.
Far from over in these conditions. Just see how much the boat's moving around there vertically in heave, going over the swells. Quite a confused sea state here in Barcelona at times, with the reverberation of waves coming off the land, off rock walls, 2 or 3 different swell angles coming in all together. So really, really tricky. You can get like a double up or even a triple up of waves at times. So really, really tricky conditions. To have really good vision to see what's coming down the course here and react to it and anticipate.
And as we've said before, this is treacherous for the cyclists. This sort of state, isn't it? This is where they really have to go for it, more so than ever, and they're always going for it, Glenn.
Yeah, they're not sitting there watching the bubbles go by. That's for sure. These guys, they love the dark space, and that's the world of hurt that they're in at the moment, in their happy place.
Good cadence.
That one feels like better, Bill.
More wind to come, 2 and 5. This should be a game for us, I think. Keep it steady.
Keep building 30s. They're knocking now.
You can hear the cyclos
Not
there.
too slow. They've just come back.
Watching the pump pressures on the hydraulic system.
I think so.
10.
Out of front, okay.
What do you think?
That's good, that's good.
One down.
Cadence.
Just need better comms on that.
You would not want to be one of those guys for quids.
Good positioning though.
Absolutely.
That's breeze for me on the boundary.
Pushing hard there. Huge gear changes there in these conditions with the rigs. That's just massive clue movements.
Just whether you go in 10 or whether you go with now.
Subtle gain for Luna Rossa on this upward leg. Subtle gain.
They're just chipping away. Emirates Team New Zealand clearly tacking over there to just stay in touch. Just see how much camber change there is in the front sail and the mainsail there as they enter and then exit the tacks. Huge camber changes as they power up. It's like putting the flaps down on an aircraft, taking off, exiting, more power as the boat accelerates, the reduction in power and drag, and cleaning up the aero package for maximum performance.
The teams all knew that Barcelona could deliver a sea state like this. Now, how important was that in all the design decisions?
Short one for them.
Yeah, absolutely all the teams needing to sort of cross that AP setup, that all-purpose setup. You can't be just good in light, you can't be just good in strong winds. They've got to cover flat water, bumpy water, and they have to basically decide their configuration before they actually sail the regatta. So it's really a tricky one for the designers, but you've got to be a jack of all trades and a master of all in these boats.
Emirates Team New Zealand being hunted by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli in this Louis Vuitton preliminary final here off the coast of Barcelona. One final tack to get to that top mark. They're pretty much holding, and I say pretty much holding around a 170 to 200 metre gain on Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, and they'll go around that top gate and head down, try and put the foot on the pedal.
You can hear the cocks of the cyclors there just dictating to the rest of the crew what they need to do and what the upcoming manoeuvre is, so they put in where they need to and be in the right gear.
Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli following suit, same mark, follow the leader, but they want some speed. Let's go on board Chase Zero. Pete, what do you got, man?
Yeah, it looks really close still, and this could come down to just one touchdown. Emirates Team New Zealand just jibed, and it wasn't a great jibe by the New Zealanders to Lewitt. Luna Rossa have ripped a nice one to windward. This will be close at the bottom mark. Certainly Luna Rossa have made a nice gain at the top mark.
Good driving, boys.
So the dance is still on in this Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. Let's go on board the chase boat for Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Philippe Presti. Boy, you just can't get some luck today, can you? That penalty in the start box is a little bit of a killer, but you're gaining. There's a sense of gain here.
Yeah, well, penalty is penalty. We're on port and we are too close, so you can discuss it. But I mean, the penalty is there. It's quite unfortunate because we had the great position to kill the start. Yeah, anyway, it's good to make mistake now, not in October.
Yeah, well, that's a fair play, but the encouraging thing is you're in the final of the prelim now. The goal is now the Louis Vuitton Cup.
Yeah, for sure. We want to finish this race because I think we still have a full lap to go, and we've got a good pace. And as I said before, it's still very tricky condition with waves, and so yeah, we might have another shot.
Thanks, Philippe.
On average, there is more pressure, right?
Yeah.
Never give up, never surrender.
Have to check which gate at the bottom.
It's not over until it's over.
It was a huge gain on the last one.
You got another pressure?
Take any time here, guys.
That lead just sitting there at that 160 mark, 170. It's been pretty even since the top. So both boats, little snakes and ladders with us as well, Shirley. Just a few little surfing opportunities on the downwind there when you link a couple together.
Very even speeds. I mean, also this is about discovering, isn't it, your performance profile relative to the defender.
Correct. Both teams, not just on the water, but back indoors, will be crunching some pretty serious numbers here, looking at the data coming off, and it's the first time they really get to see actual numbers coming off the opposition. So the TV broadcast can often open a few doors that haven't previously been seen before.
And 30, marker in 30. Make them do the extra manoeuvre, right? Yep. Happy with it. Needs to be the side. So happy in 5. And 2. Bit of wave. 1. Yep, over. Put down. Oh, quite far here. Okay, then. It's a little wave, guys. Oh, good, just fast. They've got a side. I'm coming. Down, all else split.
Emirates Team New Zealand at the bottom mark. For the second to last time, the next time they will be down here, it'll be either in front of Luna Rossa or behind Luna Rossa. They go around that right-hand mark for the ahead of Luna Rossa, but they are closing.
Yeah, big gain to Luna Rossa there. Emirates Team New Zealand really sort of overlaying that bottom left turn, so quite a big gain to Luna Rossa, and they basically attack straight away around the mark. So they've gone for the split straight away, and certainly in the game for this race for sure.
It's a 13-second gain just in that rounding.
2, 1, and 4.
Really difficult manoeuvre around around the mark for Luna Rossa, then tacking in Emirates Team New Zealand, hoping to pull this off. Just having a look at Luna Rossa here, Shirley, as we go around. Oh, really tricky manoeuvre there, and just got away with it. That was potentially pretty loose, but they just got away with it and managed to get the power down on the starboard tack there, heading left.
But just take a look at the distance now.
Not let them get to the right of us in that.
Upwind leg for the last time, and who's getting the big gain?
I think we're one of the bow peak. What do you reckon?
6 speed down here, so yeah, really strong.
We'll be really strong for a lever. They're building quite thin. It's almost bow level. I'll call it you, Pete.
Decision time here for Luna Rossa Prata Pirelli. Emirates Team New Zealand in the right of way.
My wheel's only a little bit. I have him. No, normal mileage back. Potential. No, not step by track.
Keep building it.
Beautifully executed and positioned.
That is absolute classic match racing there on foils. This is game on. Is this a sign of things to come?
Lead change in the final. There's not much in it.
2, 1, and 1.
It's such an aggressive move, though, and it doesn't end up that you separate from the boat that you're trying to defend from.
And they've gone as well. Same again.
The leader trying to take control.
I'm happy with that. It's going to be more.
It's
bow again, going to be another intersection here. Luna Rossa gaining all the time here.
5.
Rights with New Zealand.
3, 2, 1, and 1.
Luna Rossa Prata Pirelli sailing fast there, going for the hook here. Emirates Team New Zealand really in big trouble here for me. Really in big trouble. Wow.
Hey guys.
Massive bow down speed.
This is
Luna Rossa
the
Prata
umpires,
Pirelli.
penalty, Italy, penalty, Italy.
Oh, and it's gone the other way. The Italians not keeping clear. It'll be really interesting to hear from umpire Richard Slater, if we can get some comms with him at some stage soon on what transpired there.
The Italians initiated that penalty. They pressed the button to invite the umpires in. And they didn't get it.
Penalty clear.
Oh, so the Italians there intersecting behind Emirates Team New Zealand too closely. So they would have actually intersected their polygons, if you like, or the keep clear boundaries too closely. So
Up now, please.
now Luna Rossa Prata Pirelli just tacking on top of Emirates Team New Zealand. Super close racing here.
Luna Rossa must keep clear. Windward boat.
There'll be a protest button pressed there.
This is the umpires, penalty, Italy, penalty, Italy.
Another one for Italy. Nice job from Emirates Team New Zealand to get that intersection of the boundaries, but it is game on. A 75-metre get behind for the Italians there.
It may look a bit strange that there is actually a gap, but there is a bubble around the boat. It cannot be intersected.
Just having a look at what the Italians can't side them out about.
Penalty clear.
Bugger, they say. Anyway, Rubbings Racing, and what a race we have on our hands here.
It is fitting for a final here at Barcelona. This final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. There is nothing in it between Emirates Team New Zealand and Luna Rossa Prata Pirelli. Penalties have been hurting them on the upwind leg. Luna Rossa and Emirates around the top mark and heading home. But will they get home first?
Absolutely game on here. It is definitely not over. Oh, a little skid there. Luna Rossa Prata Pirelli, not over yet. Rudder real close to the surface. Oh, crikey's only just held that on. When you see the black of the Luna Rossa Prata Pirelli rudder, they are very, very close to getting that elevator out of the water. Need to pull this jibe off cleanly here, Shirley.
3.
Luna Rossa went round that mark at like 44 knots.
Wow, that was right on the edge.
Okay, just settle in now, guys. Yep.
You can get it in one, they have to go in two. It's best VMGP. Everything for best VMG, keep it settled.
Yeah, the call from Nathan Outridge, just settle down, sail fast.
Let's go to Pete Lessing. You're right in the middle of this, Pete. What a cracker.
Just bring it down, pistol.
We're coming down behind both boats, and it's just amazing to watch. And wow, big testament there to Matt's racing skills and the coaching from Ray Davies. And I thought those two penalties that went in the way of Emirates Team New Zealand just comes down to attention to detail with the Matt's racing skills. Right now, New Zealand down to leeward, Luna Rossa to windward. New Zealanders are bow forward, but what a match race.
Lots of still in sequences also.
They are going now, I think, Pete.
Still good. We're carrying on up.
Just a little replay here of that intersection and the penalty there. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, but the real battle going on at the moment is coming down to the bottom end of the course, and the race is absolutely on as we get down to the bottom end of the line here. Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli, not the best jibe there.
A-line's going to be super marginal.
Emirates Team New Zealand extending their lead a little there, just trying to sail the boat cleanly here. It's all about executing well at this bottom part of the course here for both boats to make sure they're in the game at the finish.
Wherever you're watching us around the world, you might be like the three commentators sitting on the edge of their seats, and all the chase boats as well. We've got a mini classic here in AC75 racing, the final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta. Defender against the challenger last time out in Auckland.
Nice. I mean, again, it's sort of straight in, it's all good.
Well, we wondered, Stephen, if we would get close match racing with these super fast boats. What a treat. There's only more to come.
4 days away from the start of the Louis Vuitton Cup to find out who will be the challenger for the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. Will it be Luna Rossa? Will it be American Magic? So many questions to be asked over the next fortnight.
A bit fast and then I'm down at the end.
It's coming down to the finish line here.
And under pressure, Emirates Team New Zealand do it. In 2024, they win the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta here in Barcelona.
Do you want to round up and just get over by the... I'll just try and get up one to tiny wee bit now. Okay, boys.
How each team responds under pressure is a signal as to how they will continue on. Undone by penalties in that race, Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. But they still signal it is game on come the Louis Vuitton Cup to the other four challengers.
Boys, great effort on the bike, so. Sorry, boys. Painful.
That's worth a wow.
Yeah, that was. I'm still getting my breath back, and I haven't done anything. That was pretty good, Shirley. I mean, that was a proper match race at pace in waves. I mean, that was absolutely epic.
And as Jimmy just said, I mean, what a comeback. We kind of thought it was maybe done and dusted, but he just closed the gap and brought the fight right to the Kiwis.
Confirmation of the final of the Louis Vuitton Preliminary Regatta, and it's Emirates Team New Zealand with the big W. And that's how it all finished up. Emirates Team New Zealand followed by Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. American Magic, what might have been after what we saw today had they not had gear failure yesterday? Ineos Britannia with the 2 wins. Alinghi Red Bull Racing and Orient Express Racing, all teams with a lot of work to do.
Well, it's been a day of penalties and kicked off with a big one. Port and starboard, Luna Rossa penalised just the diamonds.
Lucky
So
they're there
close.
though. You do
Yeah.
not want to be hitting those foils at that sort of pace.
And board's going.
The start though, pretty even though the Luna Rossa had to drop back. That's 75 metres.
The race was certainly not over. Both boats there, right in each other's face. It doesn't get any closer than that on an AC75, and penalty there to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli for not keeping clear. Basically at the end it was just a nose in front. Emirates Team New Zealand getting the job done, but is this a sign of things to come in the future for some battles ahead?
Let's go on board Emirates Team New Zealand. We'll start with Peter Burton. Congrats, mate, on winning the preliminary regatta, but we've been waiting for something like that, huh?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't prettiest work. Made life pretty hard for ourselves, but absolutely stoked to walk away with the win. You know, if you can make that many mistakes and still win a yacht race, it's been a bit of a tough day for us, to be honest, with that first one as well. But yeah, really happy to take this one.
All right, mate, we'll jump across to Nathan. Shirley?
Nathan, it was so good to watch. Just how hard was that race? How intense?
We made that one a lot harder for ourselves, and we should have a few unforced errors, but awesome to see such a tight tactical race. And yeah, we sort of tacked in the wrong spot and fell foul for almost a penalty there. But yeah, it was good. It was good action, good battle, and obviously lots for us to review. So a worthwhile day, and yeah, we'll take the win.
All right, mate, go and spray some champagne, Nathan. Appreciate the time. We're going across to Luna Rossa Prada Pirelli. Francesco, penalties, they're a killer, aren't they, in a game like this, but it's a hell of a race.
A little bit harsh, but I mean, I think could have gone both ways. The one on the pre-start, the other two, definitely penalties. Yeah, very hard with these waves to stay away. It's in within the meter, the difference between a penalty your way and the other, and yeah, well, a lot to learn and a great race and big effort from the boys. Really good job.
Thanks for your time, buddy. I appreciate it much. And let's just quickly get a quick comment from Jimmy. Glenn.
Yeah, Jimmy, that was a proper match race on these new version 375s, mate. That doesn't get much closer than that.
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, I think this wind direction and this wave state certainly showed there were passing lanes, something we haven't seen a lot of over the past few days. So I think you look, both teams made a bunch of mistakes. We'll both be going back to review it, but full credit to Team New Zealand for pulling that one off. And thanks again to our lads on the bikes. They got thrown in the fire there.
Yeah, no, well done, mate. Great job for the whole team, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in the next coming days. Take a break. Well done.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, that's what you call the Moe moment, and well-deserved by Emirates Team New Zealand, because once again, as the defender of the America's Cup, they have signalled they will be the team to beat. But I remember talking to you a long time ago, Glenn Ashby, saying this one is going to be a lot closer than it was in Auckland, and we saw a good example of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a really, really tight battle there, and, you know, we were sitting on the edge of our seats, and I'm sure everyone else was as well. I mean, a really, really great race there, and I think both teams surely would have been really, really happy with, you know, the fact that they could both get in, they got the gauge of each other, and they'll be looking forward to some further racing coming ahead.
We're so early on in this summer. I mean, to see that quality of racing is something else.
And what's next after all of this? Well, 4 days away from the Louis Vuitton Cup, the Challenger Selection Series. 5 teams, although 6 because the defender's going to get in there as well. And that's the schedule. 29, 30, 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 of September. Where are the days going? But if we get more of what we've seen, you are in for a wild, wild ride. To think the Louis Vuitton Cup was first awarded back in 1983 to Australia too, and we saw John Bertrand here earlier on today, and he is pretty excited about what he is seeing. And he was the first one to win the Louis Vuitton Cup, and boy, did they do a job in that. Saw the documentary on Netflix. I was transfixed, but that is what's coming next. So there you are, a beautiful vista that is called Barcelona, that is hosting the Louis Vuitton 37th America's Cup. So teams have put their cards on the table. What cards have we seen? Well, we've seen some big cards and we've seen some small cards, and we're still going, what really is going on? What we do know is that fans are jumping into it, and the teams are really, really into it. We're seeing improvement. Orient Express Racing got out there and did a job today. They finished Emirates Team New Zealand, the defender. But how about the performance today of American Magic? 4 days away, the Louis Vuitton Cup, the Challenger Selection Series, and you'll see it live from Barcelona. Until then, see you later.